Hey everyone, welcome back to Broken Sword Shadow of the Templars. We are here at Hotel Ubu and we are about to catch a killer. Lady just spawned at her piano. She's so cool, by the way. Like, wait until you meet her. We speak to the receptionist who's filing away.
I want some information.
Who are you? The police?
I'm conducting a private investigation.
Ah, I know only too well what you mean. That is one of the drawbacks of the catering business. When people book into an hotel, they leave their morals at home, no?
Do you have a guest by the name of Khan?
No, monsieur. Perhaps you would care to check the register.
The man who calls himself Khan has a scar on his right cheek.
Vraiment? I tell you, I do not know a man named Khan.
Maybe not, but I noticed a change in his expression when I mentioned the scar. Do you recognize the man in this photograph?
Yes, monsieur. That man is one of our guests.
What name?
I cannot tell you that.
Yeah.
Excusez-moi, monsieur.
What?
You are trying to steal that key, no?
No way.
What now, monsieur?
Give me your key.
About the key hanging on the hook over there.
Oui, monsieur.
Which room is it for?
Number 21.
Is that room taken?
No. The guests checked out this morning.
Can I not have it? Ah, let's have a look.
If the tailor's description was correct, this was the killer's room. The sign on the door read 22. The door was locked. The door was locked.
Of course. I think I'm meant to look at those to unlock the dialogue.
What now, monsieur?
Yeah, there we go.
I'd like to check into room 21.
That is not possible.
How come? You said it was vacant.
It is reserved for another guest.
Rats.
No, monsieur. Dutch.
I love that line. Rats. No, monsieur. Dutch. We won't speak to him. He's not that interesting.
Hi there, ma'am.
Well, hello. What can I do for you?
I'm looking for a man.
You disappoint me, my dear. For one foolish moment I thought... But never mind. Aren't you going to tell me your name?
George Stobbart, ma'am.
How sweet! I once had a stable boy called George. I am Lady Piermont. The common reaction is to kneel and stutter, but it's not obligatory.
A real lady? I mean, you're an honest-to-God aristocrat?
Oh, I don't know about that. Few of my ancestors are honest, not even to God. I can trace my family back to the Normans, but don't let that intimidate you, George. Beneath that impressive pedigree, I'm just flesh and blood. The blood may be blue, but the flesh is the plump beef of old England, so to speak. You appear distracted, George. Is there any way I can help you?
If I'm not mistaken, we see her again in Broken Sword 5. I love her.
I'm looking for a murderer.
Good heavens! You're a private detective.
That's correct, ma'am.
What's the term you Americans use? It's on the tip of my tongue.
I believe what you're thinking of is Dick.
Precisely.
Have you come across a man who calls himself Khan?
I am familiar with only one person named Khan.
Genghis Khan, the legendary Mongol barbarian chieftain?
No, darling. Kevin.
Kevin Khan? I never heard of him.
I'd be most surprised if you had, darling. He's a pharmacist in Hemel Hempstead. Organises fundraising for the Rotarians. Lovely man.
Does he have a scar on his cheek?
I really wouldn't know, sweetie.
Are you here in Paris on vacation?
No, darling, I'm on holiday. I needed to get away after Algy's funeral.
I didn't realize you were mourning the loss of a loved one.
I'm not. He was my husband.
I'm sorry to hear about your husband's death.
You wouldn't be if you knew him, my dear. It gave me the opportunity to take a well-deserved holiday. Daphne suggested a change of scenery. Paris, she said. A wild romance is just what you need to take your mind off the inquest. Well, the closest I came to romance was being wooed by a drunken Breton chef. I must say I was disappointed with his coq au vin. Not at all what I was expecting. I was thinking of cutting my holiday short, packing my bags and heading back to Hemel Hempstead. That was until last night.
What happened?
What happened to you last night?
I was stricken, Mr. Stobbart. Cupid's arrow has cleft my bosom.
They couldn't really miss.
It was just as I'd always imagined it should be. The intimacy of candlelight, romantic music tinkling across the room, and then a stranger's glance. Those brooding eyes, that suave manner, those tight trousers. He was the man I'd been waiting for all my life.
I'm glad he finally turned up after all these years.
Ah, but it wasn't to be. He was merely toying with my affections. And if I ever catch up with him, he's dead.
Who was the guy who led you on?
His name is Merlin.
Funny you should say that name.
Do you recognize the man in this photograph?
My God, it's him! That's Merlin.
She represented everything I loved about the English. The lady was totally deranged. Merlin? You mean King Arthur's wizard?
Good heavens, no! Monsieur Merlin is a fellow guest. He's the man I've been telling you about. That's the man who spurned me.
The man you know as Merlin is a fake.
What do you mean, sweetie?
He's a murderer. He also uses the name Khan.
I am shocked, Mr. Stobbart. Shaken. I took him to be a gentleman, a man of honour. Do you know, I'd rather like to assist you in stitching him up.
When did you last see Merlin?
It was no more than an hour ago. He came downstairs and spoke to that clerk chappie. Something passed hands. I couldn't see what exactly.
A briefcase?
No, smaller than that. A bundle of papers, perhaps. The clerk put it in the hotel safe and Merlin went out.
Are you sure you saw Merlin putting documents in the safe?
Yes, darling, positive.
I wonder what they were.
Obviously something of great importance.
Yeah. I'd sure like to get my hands on whatever it is. I'll bet they had something to do with Plantow's briefcase. Has Merlin returned to the hotel?
No, he hasn't. Are you going to search his room?
If I could get in there, I would. Would you distract the clerk while I borrow a key?
Are you asking me to aid you in a criminal act, darling?
Oh, no. It's the key to an empty room.
And why, may I ask, do you wish to gain access to an empty room? Do you plan to squat?
No, ma'am.
Scouts honor?
I was never in the Boy Scouts, ma'am.
Oh, you should have been. What were your parents thinking of? It's a fine way for a boy to get licked into shape. Now tell me, why do you want to get into that room?
It's next to the room the killer is using.
Ah, so you plan to eavesdrop on Merlin?
I was hoping there might be a connecting door.
Well, how can I refuse? I shouldn't think my feminine charms would be much use in this case, but a good dose of English arrogance might do the trick.
Yes.
I say! You there? Flunky!
Oui, madame.
Listen carefully. You do understand English, don't you?
But of course, madame.
Good. I wish to deposit some jewellery for safekeeping.
I understand.
Are you quite certain?
Oh, bien sûr, madame.
Over to you, my dear.
Thank you very much. Off we go. She's back to playing piano.
Maybe it wasn't the right room, but this was the right key.
The door is locked. Or the door was locked. Just would have been funny if he had the wrong key all this time. That's a long way down. Okay.
The bed was freshly made, and the crisp white sheets told me nothing about the killer's habits.
Jesus.
It was the battered leather briefcase I'd seen Plantar carrying just before he died. I searched the interior of the briefcase, but as I'd half expected, it was empty.
That was so loud. When he went, the audio just went, Oh my god. Nearly gave me a heart attack. Oh yeah. You can't check the pants on the PC, 'cause watch. I have it hovered. Because you see the two blue parts, the other one just disappeared. So you check it, and he just closes it. I'm just so glad that the pants are not important. There's nothing there, so we just leave, and...
It was Khan. I had the kind of feeling in my stomach that would usually send me running to the bathroom.
Hide!
As Khan opened the wardrobe, I was sure I was dead. But he grabbed his pants quickly and didn't even see me. I didn't usually spy on men getting changed. But this guy was a killer, and I didn't want any surprises. He left his checkered pants on the bed.
And he's gone. Met the most fantastic and insane Englishwoman, Lady Piermont. She recognized the photo of Khan, but said he claimed to be called Merlin. He's been lying to her, toying with her affections. Brave man. She's after revenge. That was so close. Just as I was searching Khan's hotel room, he came in. I hid in the wardrobe. My heart was thumping so hard I am amazed he didn't hear me. My heart's thumping from that loud audio from earlier. Ah, Jesus. There's nothing on front.
I flipped the pants over.
And then we find...
I had that kind of feeling you only get from searching still warm pants. I found an ordinary matchbook. No matches, no clues. But as I pulled it from the pocket, a strong thread came with it. A thread with a metal tag on the end.
Boom.
I pulled on the metal tag and the thread came out of the pants. It was like pulling out a ripcord. I turned the pants over again. I searched the pocket gingerly and found a pass card. It read, Thomas Merlin, Gruber Electronics Corporation.
I think that's it. He's left his trousers on the bed. I found a matchbook with the name Club Alamut and a fake electrician's ID card. And that's it. Yay! Oh my god. Don't look down. Shrek, I'm looking down! Shrek, I'm looking down! Oh god. Most of my games is just me throwing in, like, movie or game references. And then we speak to this guy.
What now, monsieur?
I think I talk about this.
I'd like to retrieve something from your safe.
Ah, oui, monsieur. May I see some form of identification?
Like what?
A driving license, perhaps?
I don't drive.
Your passport?
I don't have it with me. I could show you my operation scar.
I'm sorry, monsieur. I must have some form of unique ID.
You won't find a more unique ID than my scar.
I'm sorry. I must insist on a more traditional identification.
Rats.
Oh my god. We show him this.
Does this pass mean anything to you?
That is Monsieur Merlin's property.
That's right. Merlin the murderer. I want to see what he's left in your safe.
Impossible. I cannot betray his confidence, no matter what you say he's done.
You're making a big mistake.
It's illegal.
Maybe. I can live with that. A murderer? Are you sure?
Positive.
You protecting a murderer is illegal. Anyways, we speak to this wonderful lady again.
Hi, ma'am.
Hello, George. What can I do for you now?
Yeah.
I found this pass in Merlin's room.
So, that deceitful little man is passing himself off as an electrician, is he?
Uh-huh. This guy probably has 1,000,000 faces. I showed the pass to the clerk, hoping he'd give me Merlin's papers, but he wouldn't buy it. He's too scared.
I'll give him something to be scared of. Follow me, George!
Yes. I love this woman. I cannot wait to see her in the 5th game.
Did you place a package from Merlin in the hotel safe?
I did, madame.
And did my friend here show you Merlin's identification?
Indeed he did, but
What's the problem?
he isn't Merlin.
A mere academic detail. Give him the package.
But that is against the law.
I happen to be a justice of the peace, you silly man. I am the law. If he tries anything, shoot him, George.
My pleasure, Lady Piermont.
One moment, please.
You know, I haven't enjoyed myself this much since Greenham Common.
I don't know what I would have done without you, Lady Piermont.
Same.
Voilà, monsieur. Le manuscrit de Monsieur Merlin.
Thanks.
How satisfying. An Anglo-American alliance that actually worked.
The clerk had given me a tightly rolled sheet of parchment. I decided not to unroll it until I was safely back in Nico's apartment.
Alrighty. Let's go back upstairs. Yeah, because if you go straight through the doors, the 2 guys that are waiting there, they'll check you. And if they find it, you're dead. Like, literally dead. They, if I'm not wrong, I saw like a video of how you get caught and they just throw your body into a river. Lovely. We toss this manuscript down.
But I couldn't let it fall into the hands of the goons waiting outside.
Damn it. Skipped part of the quote there. My apologies. It's because I thought I didn't press it properly. Oh well. And now we can go! Shame we can't check the rest of this hotel. I mean, it's not that important. But yeah, this guy, he's not really that interesting to talk to in my opinion, but you do see him again later, I think.
Just a minute, monsieur.
What's your problem?
No problem, if you cooperate.
What do you want?
Just a routine security check, nothing to worry yourself about.
Oh, well, all right.
Search him, Flap.
You bet!
Hey, knock it off. Get off, you big ape.
Nothing, Guido. Zilch!
Our apologies, monsieur.
What? I had to report you to the authorities.
Round here, we are the authorities.
You want I should break his arms?
No. Let him go, Flap.
I just had a thought where George just breaks into dancing and he just goes, "Hey, don't touch me there. This is my notice square." I can picture it. He's like, "Hey, don't touch me there. This is my no." Oh god. But yeah, you can actually report them, so we are gonna do that.
If the manuscript was what Flap and Guido were after, they were going to be disappointed.
Woohoo!
I couldn't wait to get back to Nika's apartment and check it out.
It's so short, but it's...
Hi, how are you?
Oh, hi. Come in, George.
I think Hotel Ubu's one of the best parts.
You're just not going to believe what I've found.
It's not another part of the clown's costume, is it?
It's a medieval manuscript. Khan left it in the safe at the Ubu.
It's incredible. Is this what he took from Plantar?
It could be, which means it's worth enough to kill for.
Look there, two guys on the same horse.
Oh yeah. Maybe they couldn't afford one each. What of it?
Have you ever heard of the Knights Templar? Their official seal was an image of two knights sharing a horse. Whatever this manuscript means, it's connected with the Templars.
How come you know about these knights?
I learned about them while writing an article on the Crusades. This guy, named Hughes de Payen, arrived one day at the court of King of Jerusalem. He offered to protect the Christian pilgrims from the displaced Muslim armies. The king would be able to guarantee safe transit to Christians in the Holy Land. Safer journeys meant more pilgrims, and pilgrims meant trade and wealth. The Templars proved invaluable to the king as a mercenary army. It was said that they never asked how many the enemy numbered, just where they were. And as the years went by, the Templars grew in wealth and numbers. They were so rich, even kings came to them for loans. But at the height of their power, they fell foul of the King of France. He rounded them up and turned them over to the Inquisition. Thousands of Templars were subject to torture and confessed to heresy.
Jesus.
Of course, at the hands of the Inquisition, there wasn't much they wouldn't confess to. The last Grand Master Jacques de Molay was burned alive.
Jeez. So the treasure is hidden, waiting to be discovered?
If there ever was a treasure, it's been lost for 600 years. Anyway, we're supposed to be investigating a serial killer, not a medieval treasure trove.
But maybe that's what the clown and his accomplices are after. Maybe this manuscript is the key.
You'd better leave it here for safekeeping.
Let's take another look at the manuscript.
Why did she look so angry? She's like, "Oh, really? Again?"
There's a guy with a sword and a bull.
The only mythological bull I know of is the Minotaur, but he was only half bull.
I don't think I'd like to be half a bull, even if it was the bottom half.
What's that object between them?
It looks like a gem on top of a tripod. There's a guy working on a loom. He's weaving a carpet or a tapestry.
Or a duvet cover? It's a clue to a place, I reckon. Somewhere famed for weaving and ships.
Where folk live in barrels?
It beats copper boxes.
There's a woman looking at her reflection in a mirror, but the reflection has 3 hideous faces.
She reminds me of the wicked queen in Snow White.
She was the one who said, "Mirror, mirror on the wall," wasn't she? She made me cry so much when I was a kid. Mom carried me out of the movie theater.
She didn't frighten me in the least.
Like I said, I was only a kid. I didn't like the crocodile in Peter Pan either.
I'm trying to remember what movie that was animated that scared me as a kid, because yeah, I wish I could remember.
A knight with a crystal ball. Now, there's something written on the scroll beside the knight.
Yes, but it's written in Latin. Per disciplinam mea lux videbis.
By my teachings, you will see the light.
You speak Latin? Where did you learn a trick like that?
A trick? I studied law, okay? I can read Latin.
My, you're touchy. Tell me that again.
She is so impressed by that. It reminds me of my my character. There's this other character who, like George Stobbart, he studies law. Or he studied law, he's like a prosecutor, and he can speak Latin, so when they're looking at something that's I can't remember the proper Latin phrase for it, but it translates to "the answer is always right." So when he says it out loud, she's like, "You know Latin? How do you know Latin?" He's just like, "I studied law." But let's hear it again.
A knight with a crystal ball. The knight's scroll bears a phrase in Latin. Through my teachings, you will be enlightened.
Let's face it, we need help, George. Someone who knows about these things.
Who do you suggest? Indiana Jones?
I know a guy who specializes in medieval studies. His name is Lobineau.
Huh. Some stuffy old fossil who gets horny over ancient relics, I suppose.
Far from it. Andre isn't the stereotypical professor you have in mind.
Where can I find this Lobineau guy?
At the Krone Museum. I'll give you the address.
Do you have a boyfriend?
Not anymore. There was someone. A guy in my final year, but it didn't work out. Neither did my degree.
I'm sorry.
I'm not.
What a straightforward question, George. Brave.
Tell me more about your family.
When I was a little girl, I used to spend the winter with my grandfather and grandma. They were the best times, warm and safe in their tiny cottage. My grandfather rolled cigarettes while grandma made hot chocolate and cakes. One day, he stopped his scrolling. He put the lid back on his tobacco jar and took me in his arms. I laughed and wriggled, but he hushed me to be silent. With his unshaven chin all scratchy in my ear, he told me his secret.
What did he say?
He said, "I don't smoke, but she likes to think I do."
What a weird old man.
Don't call my grandfather weird. He was the nicest guy ever. I wish I was back in that cottage instead of this crummy apartment in this noisy city.
Same. I wish I was back at my old house. We was like in the middle of nowhere. It was just so quiet, and now I'm living in like a town area and it's just passing cars.
What are you doing to help trace the killer clown?
Research, George.
Yeah? You have a copy of the clown's yearbook?
I have a telephone and lots of contacts.
Oh, well, did you find anything useful?
Not yet. I'm employing my first and most useful weapon.
What's that?
Patience.
Oh, I've heard of that. Isn't it a substitute for decisive thinking?
Why are you being so sassy, George? You're just being so sassy.
I have to go.
Okay. Don't forget to look for Lobineau at the Krone Museum.
Lady Piermont is fantastic. If I were a couple of 100 years older, Jesus George. After helping me get the room key, she then worked her magic to get me Khan's stash out the hotel safe. Turned out to be an ancient manuscript, so that was what Plantard was killed for. But why? Showed Nico the manuscript. I think she was impressed. How could she not be? She knew right away that it was something to do with the Knights Templar, A hugely powerful medieval order with too few horses to go around, or something, but they had hidden treasure. Interesting. Here we are.
Pardon me?
Oui, monsieur?
Are you Lobino?
Oh, no. Fancy you mistaking me for him. No. I am the deputy custodian.
But Lobino does work here.
Work? I wouldn't go so far as to call it that. He studies here most days, but as you can see for yourself, not today.
Today.
Do you know anything about the Knights of the Temple?
No, sir. Not a sausage.
Do you know anything about medieval manuscripts?
Not me, monsieur. I am no scholar. Though people often mistake me for one. It is the uniform, I guess. They see the clothes. They are impressed.
And they ask you to park their cars?
They ask me to park the... No. They assume I am an authority on the exhibits in my care.
Whereas you know next to nothing about history.
Of course not. All I am saying is, I am no scholar. Not like Monsieur Lobino.
Thanks for your help.
And then we take a look at this tripod.
In the case was a spindly tripod, blackened with age and pitted with rust. It was identical to the tripod pictured on the manuscript. A notice identified it as 15th century from Western Ireland. It had been found in Loch Marne at the site of a Knights Templar preceptory. Ireland!
What's that?
This tripod was found in Ireland.
I will have to ask you to keep your voice down.
I'm sorry, I was excited.
Ireland. Paris, Croon Museum. The tripod from the manuscript. It's in the Croon Museum right here in Paris. According to the plaque, it was discovered in Loch Marne Island. And I think we speak to this guy about
Oui, monsieur?
Can you give me any further information about the tripod?
Certainly, monsieur. It's infamous. That tripod, that belonged to John Dee.
What's the importance of John Dee's tripod?
Dee was the most famous escapologist of the 16th century. The Houdini of his time.
Don't you mean alchemist? Escapologists use ropes, chains, and handcuffs, not tripods.
Well, whatever he was, that is the tripod he used in his experiments.
What kind of experiments did John Dee perform with his tripod?
Oh, the usual. Didn't you study chemistry at school?
Yeah, but we skipped over thaumatology. Can I take a closer look at the tripod?
What? Get it out of the case? Ah, no! That tripod is protected by a sophisticated surveillance system.
How sophisticated?
A painfully loud alarm bell.
How is the alarm bell triggered?
By the slightest pressure on or movement of any part of the case wherein that tripod is situated.
It strikes me that to call your alarm system sophisticated is, well, stretching the truth a little.
It has never failed yet. The sophistication is in its simplicity.
I gotta stop hitting my microphone.
Thanks for your help.
Alright. And then we return to... Before we return to Nico, I must do... what I must do. Oh yeah, I can unlock part of a...
Sergeant Moo?
Ah, Monsieur Stobbart, n'est-ce pas?
That's correct. You remember me.
The retention of such data is part of my duty as a gendarme. That is how crime is fought, through attention to detail, not intuition.
Yes, sure.
Yeah, we can unlock part in the journal about what the police are doing about the thing at the minute.
I'd like to report an assault.
Yes, monsieur? Where is the victim?
I'm the victim. I've been harassed by a pair of thugs.
I see. And where did this alleged assault take place?
Outside the Hotel Ubu. They stopped me as I was leaving and went through my pockets.
Could you describe the suspects, monsieur?
One looked like a gorilla, and the other looked like a weasel. Their names are Flap and Guido.
Bon. I'll get them this time.
Yeah. Brilliant. So we got him out the way. Or them, I should say.
Is Rosso here?
Yes, he is. You wish to speak to him?
Yeah, why not?
Yes, I do.
One moment, monsieur.
I want to unlock a part of the
It's
journal.
Stobbart, monsieur. He insists on talking to you again.
Did he say what it was about?
No, monsieur.
Very well.
His voice is so creepy. But that's nothing compared to Merlin.
Hi, Inspector. Remember me?
But of course, Mr. Stobbart. My mind is a well-ordered faculty. A mental classification system that's the envy of the Bibliothèque Nationale. No tricks, mark you, monsieur. Just exercise. Just as our muscles waste through inactivity, so our minds decay. But there is no need. If only people would learn to exercise their wits daily.
If he was trying to impress me, it worked. He was pompous and patronizing, but he had style.
Eh bien, if you called about the bombing, you're too late. Investigations have been closed.
But
Have been taken off the case.
what about the murderer, the dead guy?
It is out of my hands.
Don't you want to know what I found out about the killer?
I told you, monsieur, the case is closed. I have washed my hands of the whole affair.
Then I'll have to continue my investigations without your help.
No, you must forget the business of the crown completely. Go back to being an ordinary tourist, Stobbart.
Why?
So long, Inspector.
You're useless. Yeah.
See you later, Sergeant.
Bye-bye. Wait. Paris clown chasing. Nico was right. The police are ignoring these murders. Inspector Rosso refused to even discuss the incident and said he'd been taken off the case. It is beginning to look like a cover-up. Yeah. So we got that out of the way. Let's go back and see Nico.
Hi. I've been to the Kroon Museum.
Did you speak to Lobineau?
No, he wasn't there.
No, he wasn't there. What's this?
Have you found out any more about the murders?
Well, it may be nothing, but both the clown's victims visited Paris earlier this year.
When?
The second week of July. They were both here at the same time.
Did they meet?
I don't know, but I can't imagine it was coincidence.
I found the tripod.
Where?
In the museum. It belonged to the Templars. It was dug up in Ireland at a place called Loch Marne.
I have heard of Loch Marne. I read an article about the castle. Take a look for yourself.
A popular gossip magazine. You read that rubbish?
No, I write it.
Oof.
Professor Nigel Pegram excavating the medieval castle at Loch Marne. That's strange.
What?
He resigned his chair at Durham University in order to devote his time to the excavation. Not only that, but he canceled the filming of a fourth series of his popular television program. This site at Loch Marne must be awful important to him.
He's a professor of history. They're all cuckoo.
All the same, I'd like to talk to this Professor Pegram. How do you feel about a trip to Ireland?
Disappointed.
Huh?
That I won't be going. I want to follow up the Bellotta case. If you really think Pegram's dam is important, why don't you visit Loch Marne?
On my own? I'm not so sure about that. Where is Ireland exactly? I have to go.
Okay, I'll see you later.
Let's go to Ireland. Yes. Ireland is one of my favourite parts of the game. It's so good. see if we can go there now. Yes, we can. Yes. Lochmarn. I can never pronounce how they do the.
I passed the castle on the way into Lochmarn, the castle where Peagram's excavation was located.
Oh, I love the island level so much. I would say it's one of my favourite parts of the game. But I'm gonna leave that there. We are gonna continue on and dedicate this next video all to the island level, because my god, it is so special. And this character right here, to me, he's so funny. But I'm gonna leave it here, and I'm gonna save over this. I had to play this again because the audio on the game was not playing. I recorded the entire thing and I was like, okay, I'm ready to upload this, and then I checked the video before I do. My voice was loud and clear, but I was like, where's the audio for the video game? It was gone. So I was like, I had to do it all over again, just like before. So I hope that doesn't happen again, but I'm gonna save over that. And yeah, I cannot wait to do this next part. But tomorrow I will be playing Night Shift, which is going to be an experience. If you don't know what Night Shift is, it's a puppet combo horror game, and I really want to play more horror games because I have Night Shift, other puppet combo games, Until Dawn, whatever random horror games are out there really. I'd like to get some suggestions because I really love Alien Isolation is another one that I'm planning to play very soon. I cannot wait because I love that game and I pretty much want to face my fears. But we will carry this on after I complete Night Shift, and we are going to enjoy the islands level. I just hope you enjoy it as much as I do. So thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video for the level of Island. So thanks for watching and bye!